Yo, I'm back. I'm back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Keto 911 podcast. I am your host, Daniel, the self monikered Keto EMT. Man, look, it's been a minute. I've been gone, taking care of these bills and everything, and just making sure everything is right and tight in the world of me and the family. And yes, your boy has indulged in the forbidden realm of carbs. Yes, I have. But all in all is well. Everything is good and everything is right on this side of life. So I just want to say thank you all for still continuing to rock with your boy. Thank you for all being here with me as we continue to go through this life of eating healthy, of proper wellness, nutritional values, everything. So thank you. Welcome. Come on in, sit on down, get comfortable. Let's get ready to go. All right. If you are watching this right now, please tag everybody in. I'm gonna give it just a little bit longer so that way one I can here. I gotta get used to this all this nice stuff yet again. But we gonna get there, y'all. We gonna get there. Come on, stuff. There we go. I'm gonna send this to some folks. Y'all bear with me for just a little bit. So I'm just gonna send this to some folks so that way they can tune in, show your boy some support, and we're about to get this thing popping and rolling and popping. All right, I think that's enough. Okay, personal page. All right, we're gonna get going. All right, already the comments are going. Oh, thanks, Mom. Mom's here. Everything's good in the world now. Okay. So before I get going into my topic today, before I get going, okay, I want to go ahead and give a word to my good old sponsors. You've probably seen them on the Shark Tank, the wonderful show that you see on TV where entrepreneurs go and then they bid off their products to some of the most well-to-do individuals out there in the world. They have since got an offer and they have now gone into my to the mainstream of selling. So if you haven't already heard of them, they're called Proper Good Foods. Let me see. There we go. Proper Good Foods. Now, these types of soups here, they have soup. They also have oatmeals for breakfast as well. They also support keto, paleo, and other types of options that you may have for your dietary needs, including vegan options as well. These meals right here, you pop them in the microwave, or you can put them on the stove. But if you pop them in a microwave, you can cut off the top, put it in the microwave for 90 seconds, and then you can either eat it straight out of the bag, or you can pour it into a bowl, or you can heat it into a pan, or you can boil it. But these items used to only be available, okay? These used to only be available online, all right? Now you can pretty much buy these now in Walmart. So I'll go to the Proper Good website so that way you can see their availability in your area, so that way you can definitely try these out. I got two of my favorite ones right here. That yellow is popping. So I got the red pepper and meatball soup and the tomato basil soup. Both of these are keto friendly, no added sugar. Of course, they say keto on the side of it, gluten-free, plant-based, and low sodium. You can add whatever flavors, if you want to season it a little bit with salt, some paprika, some pepper, then you can add it to there. But these are really, really good. And I believe you can eat these right out the bag, too, without warming them up. So if you're on a budget, I think these are about like $5. I know this seems kind of pricey, but if you're trying to go ahead and get something simple and quick to eat on a budget really, really quick, Proper Good Foods, man. Check them out. Proper Good Foods. I also want to give a good shout out to my brother, Kim Finesse Media. I want to make sure that I supported you, bro. I got your shirt. Hey, man, Y'all go check this brother out. He has his own podcast, his own live show to where he interviews some amazing people. I believe he's interviewing one of the Braxton sisters coming up. So definitely check out Ken Finesse Media. Once this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tag him, tag his page in there so that way I can go ahead and check him out. All right. So enough of the intros and the shout outs to all the other wonderful people who support me and who a little bit pay me. The main discussion that I've been wanting to have for a while, going from last year into this year, has been the bane of everybody's existence, definitely ours here, is that inflation has done so much more to everybody's life, not just with the price of properties and rental properties going way up unnecessarily, but definitely the price of food and healthy food items as well. I got folks asking me, so I'm just gonna say, let me see, personal page. Sorry, y'all. I just want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to see this information. But the food market has been crazy. Nope, can't do that right now. The food market has been crazy. Okay, I have never seen eggs be dang near $10. That's almost, you know, during the COVID toilet paper currency prices. Okay, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money uh, for some eggs. And then they said that an eggplant, poultry plant had burned down. Regardless of what you see in the news, prices for food, inflation has gone too far to where a lot of people are like, I can't even begin to start to think about eating healthy because some of the things that we really and truly want are too expensive to purchase. And it's bad. For people who live in this country, the United States, for those who are in the United States, everybody can feel me. It used to be to where you could spend, and I'm speaking for myself personally, when we used to go to the grocery store, we spend $140 to $150, and that would fill up our basket over at Walmart. Now, $150 probably gets us maybe 20 items. And that's not a way to live. It's almost as if the systems, the powers that be, are forcing people to eat unhealthily. So it's not good, especially if you wanted to eat a low carb keto diet. You really can't. It scares you to the point where you feel as if you can't do it because you're looking at the price of everything. I'm not gonna lie, I felt the exact same way. I'm like, look, we're cutting in rent, to build money, trying to eat healthy or trying to eat, what we believe was going to be the best things for us. And we're like, we can't cut into build money when we come to do this. We got to do something. So it got to a period to where we were eating what we could afford. Simply put, we were eating what we could afford. Okay. Sorry, let me get my chair situated. And that's what a lot of people are having to do. But after a while, we have to readjust, get our focus back, and understand that, you know what? Instead of us trying to make all these nice keto extravagant meals, let's just take it back to basics. Let's just go ahead and get some of the basic things that what we needed to get. You know, it may not be a whole big old keto meal where we're making like a goulash all the time or like that. Maybe just coming back down to brass tacks, get some good old cabbage, getting some sausage, or getting some salad, making some salads, having some when we could afford eggs, or getting some a different type of protein with maybe tuna to substitute for that. So there's all these different types of things that we did. But so before we get into how you can actually eat healthier, we're going to look at some examples here. So I'm going to pull up some information. I'm going to share. I got some information when it comes to this. Okay, where is it at? Here we go. All right. So Going to a lot of these news articles, you can see now this is CNN Business, okay? This is where they talk about it. Inflation may be easing, but the grocery prices are still way up. Now, this is as recent as December 13th of 2022. This is last year. And it starts to say in the year through November, food got 10.6% more expensive, with grocery prices rising $12 and menu prices jumping 8.5. Here, let me check something real quick. I want to make sure everybody can hear me. If anybody is listening, you can hear me. Give me some thumbs ups or something, so that way I can see if you hear me. All right, moving right along. So food got 10.6% more expensive, with grocery prices rising 12% and menu prices jumping 8.5%, not adjusted for seasonal swings. Okay, in that same period, overall inflation rose 7.1%. All right. Now, different things affected this inflation. Food prices were affected by extreme weather, like we're having this week. James Scott, you can hate me later. You've earned it. He knows what I'm talking about, people. Extreme weather, diseases impacting crops, livestock, supply chain complications, and geopolitical unrest, including the war in Ukraine, which, for what I understand, produces a huge amount of grain. And that makes it more difficult for the U.S. government to use tactics like raising interest rates to moderate food levels. Okay. So as we look at things, he says a number of pantry and refrigerator staples continue to get more expensive last month. Now, given this is from December, it's just the end of January. This isn't that long ago. The latest data shows that eggs, which have been affected by the deadly avian flu, were a staggering 49.1% more expensive through November. Now, I'm just not going to sit up here. Here, give me just a second. I'm not just going to sit up here and talk out the side of my neck. All right. I believe that this is the link. CNN, the business grocery prices. Yeah, this right here. Guys, here's the link right here. Don't believe me on what I'm saying, all right? I want you to go do the research and see it for yourself, okay? I'm about to say why I need you to go do the research in just a minute. Because I'm going to say it right now. Chris Rock said it best in his comedy series. He says, do you want to know how to hide stuff from black people? Put it in a book, because black people don't read. And it's sad, but it's true. We don't read. So you're just hearing it from me and then misconstruing what I'm saying. I want you to go pull up this link and I want you to go read it. Here, I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger on my screen. There. That better? Hope that's better for everybody. I want y'all to see this stuff. All right. The latest data shows eggs, which have been affected by the deadly avian flu, were a staggering 49.1% more expensive through November. That's just eggs. It almost went up 50%. I used to be able to buy a dozen and a half of eggs for maybe $3 or $4, and that's just the low end eggs. And maybe I could get the good organic brown grass-fed pasture-raised eggs for about maybe $6. But those eggs are more in the areas of $12 just for a dozen. And now just for a dozen and a half, I'm paying dang near $10 for eggs. I'm serious. I know there's got to be somebody selling eggs like they doing Girl Scout cookies right now on the corner. I'm serious. Eggs is ridiculous. So looking at that, but okay, so moving forward, it said butter prices hit by a contraction in the milk supply, shot up 27%. So you have your dairy and your produce already going up ridiculous amounts. Flour prices jumped 24.9%, and bread, separate from flour, went up 15.7%. Milk was 14.7% more expensive, and coffee prices rose to 14.6%. That's my panic button because I got to have coffee. I'm a horrible person if I don't have coffee. Chicken was up 12%, and fruits and vegetables spiked at 9.7%. Now, look at this. I want y'all to take a moment and look at this. Flour, huge increase. Bread went up 15%. Milk went up dang near 15%. Coffee went up 50%. That's making my blood pressure go up looking at that because, yeah, it's expensive as crap. Chicken went up 12%, but fruit and vegetables went up 9.7%, mainly because of just the demand and seasonal things that, prevent a lot of those things. Usually fruit usually goes up a little bit more in the wintertime than it does any other time. Okay. Uncooked beef roasts fell 8.1%, and uncooked beef steaks dropped 7.4%. Pork roasts and steaks and ribs slipped 5.1%, and bacon tickled down 1.1%. One thing I'm going to tell you one thing right now. People going to pay for their bacon. Bacon is not going to slip. They going to keep their margins right, okay? Bacon is, I'm serious. But that right there is just a small idea, okay, of what you're looking at as far as, as far as that goes, all right? I got some more for you. Because I don't just want you to just believe me. I want you guys to be able to see this for yourself. Okay? We're going to hit up the USDA ERS. All right? USDA ERS. All right? Here's the website below. Y'all go out here and y'all read this information. Okay? Now, I highlighted it because I'm not going to go ahead and just jump through everything because I got some more information that I want you to see. Besides talking about it, I want you guys to see the numbers. All right. All items consumer price index CPI measured economy-wide inflation decreases by 0.3% from November to December of 22 and was up 6.5% from December 21. Okay. So the level of food price inflation varies depending on whether the food was purchased for consumption at home or away from home. So there's a difference. Either it's what we're taking and buying and bringing home to feed our families, or the food that's being purchased that's being served in restaurants. Okay? So the food at home grocery store supermarket purchases, the CPI increased 0.3% from November to December and was 11.8% higher than the previous year. And the food away from home for restaurant purchases increased 0.4% in 2022 and was 8.3% higher than December of 21. Now, here again, we're going to break this stuff down again. Here we go. I'm sorry. Before we get to the fun, we're going to get this knowledge, okay? We're going to get this knowledge. You need to understand what's going on in the country and what's going on in the world so that way you're not sitting up there wondering like, well, I didn't know. Nobody told me. Yeah, you need to be more responsible with your health and especially what's going on out here in the world and being proactive, okay? So again, in 2022, food prices increased by 9.9%. Food at home prices increased by 11.4%, while away from home with the restaurant increased by 7.7%. All food price categories tracked by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, the Economic Research Service, ERS, increased by more than 5% following an outbreak of highly pathogenic avian influenza, which raised the egg prices, had the largest price increase. Now, this one is from the USDA. It said 32.2%, okay, of any category tracked by ERS between 2021 and 2022. Beef and veal prices increased 5.3% and generally declined from the peak in November 2021. Now, 11 food price categories increased more than 10%, including fats and oils, 18.5%, poultry, 14.6%, and other meats, 14.2%. Cereals and bakery products increased by 13%, other food, 12.7%, dairy, 12%, fruits and vegetables, 12%. Non-alcoholic beverages increased 11%. Now, I expected that to be a whole lot higher. And then even more so, sugar and sweets, 10.4%. All food categories grew faster than the historical average rate, and the 20-year average inflation rate increased for all food categories. It increased in all food categories. Now, this is where it starts to get concerning, if it isn't already concerning for you. Food prices are expected to grow more slowly in 2023 than last year, but it's still going to be at above historical average rates in 2023. All food prices are predicted to increase another 7.1%, with a prediction interval of 4.2 to 10%. Food at home, which is the food again that you purchase and bring it home to feed your family, are predicted to increase 8%, with an interval of 4.5 to 11.7. Food for restaurants, 8.2%, with the interval of 6.7 to 9.7. Okay, this is the huge issue that's plaguing our country. Food prices going up at astronomical rates, and the margin to where people can afford to live and the cost of living has gone down. Everybody hold on just a second. I'm having some technical difficulties, okay? Everybody hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Having some technical difficulties. Come on. Y'all hang tight with me. I'm having some technical difficulties. My camera went out on me. But y'all just hang tight, okay? Hang tight, hang tight. Don't leave. There we go. I'm gonna have to use this other camera, so let me tilt you up. All right, everybody can see me. It's different because this ain't the good camera. This ain't the good camera. Oh, there we go. Good camera came right back. So see how well. That means I need me a new. There we go. Let me brighten that back up. Can everybody hear me okay? Everybody can hear me okay? Everybody can hear me okay? Good. We all good in the hood. All right. Where was I at? Yes, this is the gravity of what our country is actually experiencing right now. Cost of living has gone ridiculously up. Gas prices have gone somewhat down to where they're somewhat manageable. But if you're looking at anybody who's living paycheck to paycheck, they're having to make these really hard decisions. Note one thing: the horrible items still cost a whole lot less. If you go to McDonald's, you still have a dollar menu. You go to, Burger King, you still have the horrible, food options for all these different locations. You still have them. All right. So how do they, you ever wonder with all this inflation going up, how do these companies, can't talk right now, how do all of these companies keep prices the same way when everything else is going up? Well, I'm so glad that you asked. There is a particular term out there called skimflation. If anybody's ever heard of skimflation, this is actually a process to where they're revamping their ingredients to use cheaper items, horrible cheaper items, but they're still charging you the same amount. And in some instances, they're using items that cost a whole lot less, but they're still charging you more. Okay. So your boy doesn't want to get hit with any DCMA or DMCA issues, so I'm not going to play none of these videos because none of that works. Okay. So house inflation for 40 years has prompted manufacturers to resort to shrinkflation, a cost-saving tactics to reduce the size of packages while keeping the same price. Now businesses are trying another way. Shrinkflation was the cost-saving tactic to reduce the size of packages while keeping the same price. So if you ever notice, the Snickers bars are a whole lot smaller, but they still charge you the same, or the amount of M&Ms inside of a package are less, but they still cost the same, even more so. A Hershey's bar weighs less. Check, they weigh less than the original Hershey's bars, but they're still charging the same price. But now businesses are trying another way to save money. Skipflation. If this is not one of the most hood ghetto, yeah, and I said it, hood and ghetto ways to con people out of their money. Okay, some of these companies are reforming their products using cheaper ingredients to reduce their manufacturing costs. A strategy some have dubbed as skinflation, according to consumer advocate Edgar Dworsky, the founder of Consumer World. The change typically isn't communicated to consumers. So, as it says here, the change is not typically isn't communicated to consumers who may be unaware of the ingredient changes yet to be charged the same price for the product. People, listeners, these companies are saving themselves money by changing their ingredients to cheaper and in many cases more horrible ingredients, and they're not even going to tell you. The same way that they've changed the sizes of these things and still not tell you. Even the bags of potato chips, you're paying $3 to $4 for a bag of potato chips, and not even half the bag is full anymore. It's less than half the bag, and you're paying for so much more air and aluminum and plastic than you are actual potato chips, whatsoever. Okay. One recent example of skinflation is that consumers didn't notice involved Conagra's Smart Balance spread, a dairy-free butter substitute. Gross. Conagra recently changed its formulation to reduce its share of vegetable oil from 64% to 39%. It took off almost 40% of reduction in vegetable oil. FYI, vegetable oil is bad for you. It's bad for your gut health. One of these next episodes is which actual cooking oils are better for you. Now, if y'all think y'all been mad at me so far, every black person, every black church is about to be pissed off at me because y'all about to get this real. Stop cooking with vegetable oil. Stop cooking with corn oil. Stop cooking with peanut oil. All of that crap is bad for you. It is bad for you. I mean, more so, for what I understand, they have carcinogens in them that help in the productions of cancer. But don't worry, I'll have the notes and everything for you then too, so that you can see it for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. See it, read it, so that way you can make better decisions about your health. Okay. So moving on, but customers who noticed the switch have flocked to the Smart Balance website in recent days to complain about the new formulation, calling it terrible, disgusting, and undesirable because they're using crappier ingredients. They're cutting the stuff out so that way everything tastes bad. They just hope that people will continue to buy it and they'll just make do. They'll just make do. Okay. So I'm just going to keep on going through here. Spokesperson for Conagra said the company has changed the Smart Balance products formulation to make it easier to spread. We've heard some feedback from consumers that have decided to return to previous recipes in the coming months. They're not going to do it. And the people up here says this is really now soft, spits all over a frying egg and doesn't melt on toast. It's just bad because the Smart Balance so-called butter that you guys are using isn't butter. It's mostly oil. So that's why it doesn't melt, because it's mainly oil. And then they say that it's hurtful in the economic sense that you will be getting little less quality for your money, and it hasn't necessarily been disclosed. Because if they tell you that they're changing the recipe and it's not going to taste as good, guess what? People are not going to buy it. Okay? And they've even went as far not to just change your food, but it's the toilet paper change. They even made your toilet paper thinner. So make sure that you get enough toilet tissue on your hand before you wipe, because you don't want that finger to point poke through. Anyway, moving past that. Let me go ahead and get up out of that. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Get these links down here so that way you guys can see these links. So that way you guys can go to these links, and so that way you guys can do this research on your own. You need to be doing this research. If you're trying to eat healthy, if you're trying to be more concerned about what you're putting in your body, you need to be reading what's going on. Anytime that you have food that you purchase This is what you need to be reading. I hope that I can see that. If y'all can't see that, let me turn this light off. There we go. The nutritional values, the nutritional facts. Check these ingredients right here. This is what you need to be doing. You need to be reading what is going on in here. Now, this is where this is one of the reasons why I like proper good foods. Vegetable broth, water, carrots, onions, leek, tomatoes, coconut milk, onions, tomato paste, garlic, carrots, apple cider vinegar, sea salt, carrot fiber, basil, xanthan gum, which is a thickening agent, purely healthy, rosemary extract, oregano, white pepper, natural paprika extract, and that's it. All of the ingredients that are in here are something that you can readily understand, pull off of a shelf, and that you know is good for you. If you have to look at a thesaurus, or if you feel like you need to take a college course just so that way you can understand what's on the ingredients, you don't need to eat it. Repeat that again. If you cannot readily pronounce or understand what is on what is on here, you don't need to eat it. Xanthan gum is not hard. Look it up. It'll tell you exactly what xanthan gum is used for. It's a natural product. Okay, it's not something that's super processed with MSG, which is monosodium glutamate, or any of this other crap that's out there. Okay, these are good, clean items. Now, there's a reason why this costs about $5, because these ingredients are clean ingredients. So the processing and the production of these is a little bit more costly than everything else in what you ever have to purchase. You know, you can sit up here and purchase, a can of Progresso for $2 or $3. But look at the ingredients, and you're going to have a whole bunch of extra scientific stuff that's going to be in them due to the preservatives and all the additives that are in there. Okay? Let me go ahead and take this off. I would stop like I'm at work and be like, are there any questions? Oh, my mom asked a good, simple question. How does it taste? You see that picture? Where's she at? See this picture right here? That's my mama, y'all. One of the top supporters. And yeah, these taste amazing. I probably just add a little bit of extra salt, not much, pink Himalayan salt, not that iodized salt, okay? Pink little Himalayan salt and maybe a little bit of pepper. But once you cook these ones, especially tomato basil, it smells amazing. Tastes really, really good. But this one right here, the red pepper and meatball soup, this one tastes really, really good. And it has little meatballs in here too. Now, if you see at the bottom, this is all the products of the soup that's in there. It's really, really good. I think you can see a little meatball flowing around in there. But these have a really good, decent shelf life. This one is good by September of this year. And I think this is around the same time. And this is the soup at the bottom. Full of all that flavor, all those herbs and everything like that. It's one serving. This is one serving. This is a good, quick, simple, if you got to make a quick meal on the go, if you're at work for 12 hours, hey, EMS family, my people who ride the ambulances, who work in the firehouses, or who are nurses, this is a really, really good, simple meal to have in the middle of a busy day, okay? Mom, I'm going to get you some of these. You go on Walmart and grab you a couple of these. And they have oatmeal too. My mama don't do keto, but they got these good options, and these are really, really tasty. Their oatmeals have all the little crunchy stuff that you can put in there too. So when I wasn't keto, but while I was on a hiatus, I tried some, and they were really, really good. My kiddos love them too. They have like a banana nut oatmeal. Amazing. Proper good foods, people. They got deals on their website and everything like that. Here, let me see if I can go ahead. While I'm still talking, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this site so that way y'all can see it. I'm going to pull up this site so that way y'all can go ahead and see it, because I want y'all to see this for yourself. They have some really, 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 really good stuff. Okay. So here we go. As you can see, these guys were on the Shark Tank before. All right. These guys were on the Shark Tank before. You know, Forbes, Askman, Reader's Digest, Spoon University. I got you, Pop. My dad's asking for the same thing too, and I'm serious. You can see it on Shark Tank because these guys have good stuff. No refrigerator needed. So when you guys get these can sit in your cabinet. You don't have to put these in the refrigerator as soon as you get them. You know, and I recommend as soon as you start to open them up to eat them, then definitely go ahead and jump on in and just get into it. And they have a whole lot. You can buy them in bundles. Here's their red pepper and meatball soup right here. Here's a tomato basil. Oh man, that thing must have heard me talking. Here's the caramel pecan Dayton oatmeal, chicken noodle soup, Southwest chili. I heard the Southwest chili is really good. They got the cinnamon roll pecan oatmeal. That one sold out. Broccoli cheddar soup, golden lentil, spiced pumpkin cream of chicken, apple cinnamon walnut oatmeal. I'm like, they have a whole bunch of different flavors. My page is still lower. Chana masala, basmati rice. They even do rices, butternut squash soup, banana. That's the banana bread oatmeal that I had tried, and it is so good. Chocolate butter banana oatmeal, kale soup, blueberry coconut. I'm serious. Y'all can see it. There's a whole bunch of options. Brown rice and quinoa, not quinoa, black people. Quinoa. It's pronounced quinoa. Perfectly plain oatmeal, so that way you can add whatever you want to it. Oh, they got a little overnight jar, so that way you can store it. And then they got the little, I don't want all that. And then they got all the extra additives that you can put with it. And they're good stuff, man. They're good stuff. I wouldn't recommend it if I haven't used it myself or if I haven't tried it. They have some really, oh man, they have some really really good stuff. I'm sorry, y'all. My camera's acting funky again. It's time for me to get a new one. Or I guess this is this rain that's acting like this. I'm guessing it's the rain. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Bear with me. Technical difficulties round two. Sorry, y'all. That was technical difficulties round two. It's time for me to get a new camera. It's time for me to get a new camera. This bad boy. There we go. This bad boy right here has been good for me for a good while, but I think it's time for me to get a new camera. I need to get a new setup so that way it doesn't cut out like this so often. Let me get my light going back again. There we go. There we go. That way y'all can see my lovely and beautiful brown mug. There we go. All right. So that's Proper Good Foods. They have a whole bunch of great different items that you can definitely choose from. Highly recommend them. You can find them in Walmarts right now. The soups are going to be in the soup aisle. The oatmeals are going to be where the breakfast is. The breakfast cereal and the other oatmeals are. So definitely give them a shot when you have a chance. So now that I got one more. I got one more. I want y'all to see it because where is it at? Where's my company's using window? Yeah, here we go. Let's get into it. Last but not least, I want y'all to see this. This is not me sitting up here making this up. This is the actual Excel spreadsheet. Now, I got this off of the USDA website to where where you can actually pull this information to actually see what the percentage rates of the inflation is going. Okay, all food from month to month, 0.3%, 10.4%. The annual, see, it was going up 3.4%. 2021, it went up 3.9%. 2022 went up 9.9%, to where the forecast rate for this year is going to increase another 4 to 5%. All right. Food away from home. Now, this is your restaurants. It's constantly gone up 8.3%, 3.4, 4.5, 7.7. Again, 4.5 to 5.5. This is from the USD website. I want you guys to understand this. They're taking record and looking at how these things are increasing. 2020 for food at home went up by last year 11.4%. Meats and poultry 9.6. No. Uh, Meats, 8.2. Beef and veal, 5.3. Other meats, so that's including fit. I guess other meats outside of veal and pork. 14.2. Poultry went up 14.6%. 14.6%. Fish and seafood, 9.1. That has to be one of the lowest ones outside of beef and veal. Eggs, 32%. And it's expected to go up another 10 to 11%. Y'all can see this right here, 10 to 11%. Dairy products, 12%. That's your milks and all that other stuff. Fats and oils, 18%, expected to go up another 10% this year. Processed fruits and vegetables. Now I want y'all to look at this. Processed fruits and vegetables went up 12% this past year and expected to go up another 5%. But look at the difference. Fresh fruits and vegetables only went up roughly 7 to 8%. And fresh fruits and vegetables are only going to look at going up maybe 3 to 4. And in some instances with fresh fruits, negative 0.5 to 0.5%. That's not a huge jump for fresh fruits and vegetables. And I'm going to explain to you why it's better to get it fresh than processed. Sugars and sweets went up 10.4%, looking to go up another 5 to 6. Cereals and bakery products, 13%, for a whole bunch of sugar and no health benefit at all. The non-alcoholic beverages went up 11%, and other foods, 12%. See, now this is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, okay? So this right here. Now, I got this information just the other day. So this most recent forecast was January 25th. This was last week when I got this spreadsheet. So this is recent. This is very, 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 very recent. Okay. So how can you eat healthier during a time period to where you can actually have a healthier lifestyle and not be in a bad situation? Everybody should know that by the time you go into a grocery store, the areas that you need to shop in are not in the middle. The first areas that you need to patrol as soon as you go into a grocery store is the outer rim. So for Walmart, as soon as you go in, don't look at the deli, don't look at none of that crap that's up there. Go straight to your produce. You can buy, and we have bought 6 heads of cabbage for at least 68 cents a pound. Okay? 68 cents a pound for a head of cabbage. And you can cut that up, dice it up, pan fry it, put it in an Instapot, and that can be a good meal. Well, dang, that's a struggle meal. I don't want to be eating all that. I want to eat me something good. Let me tell you something. With the current condition of how the American society is with our health, and even more so, let me hit it home for you. The current situation and status where Black people are with diabetes, high blood pressure, hypertension, and COPD, y'all can stand to stop eating some of that crap for a while. Now, cabbage and greens are something that are dang near in every other Black meal, and especially at churches. There's always somebody's mama who done brought in some cabbage or some greens. You can always eat that. You can always have that. And I encourage you to do that. It's a simple meal. Put it in an Instant Pot, add a little bit of water, season it to taste, and cook it. Pan fry it. Now you can do something even more. Get you some sausage links, cut them up, and once they get fried up, you can incorporate it in there with your pan fried cabbage, and that's a meal for a couple of days. Okay, that's a meal for a couple of days. It's easily doable. It's good. Yeah, it's mundane, but you know what it's also doing? People who are trying to be healthy, it's meal prepping. It is meal prepping. You want to keep your kids from having a whole bunch of processed foods, burgers, chicken tenders, chicken nuggets. Bake some cabbage. Well, my babies don't like it. Well, your babies will be fine. They ate it. We all grew up on it. It's something that's good and it's healthy, and we all should continue to do it. All right? So moving right along there, you have Brussels sprouts. You should get a bundle of Brussels sprouts for maybe maybe $4 to $5. Brussels sprouts are a little bit more on the expensive side, and you may not have to do them every single day. But in between, get you some Brussels sprouts. Those can be put into the oven. Well, one, you can cut them in half after you wash them, cut off the ends, drizzle um, extra virgin olive oil, season it with garlic, pepper, salt to taste, put it in the oven, and cook it on 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Once it's done, get you some ranch dressing, sprinkle some cheese on that joker, and you have yourself a meal. You have yourself a meal. And my dad said something that was crucial, and this is something that he said to us all the time that we were growing up. And here it goes. It's all about satisfying your hunger. It's not about getting full. If you eat to get full every single time, you're always going to be hungry. You're always going to be bloated. You're going to have to undo that button that's down there in your pants and let that thing air out. Yeah, and I said it, let that thing air out. And it's going to be a problem. You're going to have to establish a better relationship with food to where you're not eating to get full. You're eating to satisfy your hunger. Once you get to the point where you're eating and you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm good. Have that discipline. Walk away, push the food away, prep you some stuff for later on, and move on about your way. You're only supposed to eat when you are hungry. Now, my mom and dad are watching this. They're going to get mad. They always ask me, my mom is like, what'd you have for breakfast? I don't have breakfast. My coffee is my breakfast. She says, why? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not. There's a construct that was made. There's a lie. You're supposed to eat when you're hungry. And I'm not hungry in the morning, so I don't eat. I have my coffee, and then I have my fluids, and then by the time I go home after eating, I eat my one meal by the time I get home. So I intermittent fast for at least 23 hours out of the day or 22 hours out of the day. And then when I get home, I destroy what's made. I destroy it. But it's not something that I just immediately did. My body had to be worked up to. My body had to be trained to. And everybody can do it. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody can do it. If you're disciplined enough to where you're saying, you know what, I'm going to focus on making sure I feed my body when it's hungry, then you'll do that. Your body has to adjust because it's used to eating at certain times of the day. But I'm going to cover that in just a second again before I close. We're on produce right here. There's so many things in produce that you can do. You can get a bag of those mixed vegetables or even a bag of those frozen vegetables, which are usually about $5 to $6 in the frozen section. A bag of frozen vegetables is called the Normandy Melody or the California Melody. It's where it has carrots, broccoli, cauliflower in there. And you can stir fry that, or even better yet, steam it with some Kerrygold butter. Kerrygold butter is actual butter. Comes from cows that are pasture raised, grass fed, meaning the cows only eat grass, not corn. Cows are not meant to eat corn. They're meant to eat grass. So this is butter that comes straight from cows that comes from grass-fed beef. So it's the best type of butter that you can have. I'm sorry, I kind of got jumbled, but that's the best type of butter that you can have. But you can steam that. You can stir fry it. You can pan fry it using some coconut oil. And that right there is a healthy meal. And this is one of the things that I do, that we'll do a whole bunch of that frozen vegetables, and then we'll brown up some ground meat, season it just like we normally would if we were doing spaghetti. But then we take that ground meat and throw it in to the mixed vegetables, season it with salt and pepper, and throw some cheese on it. And guess what? You got a meal for a good couple of days. It's about us making meals to last. You don't have to eat everything up at one sitting. Now, I was a person with my mother and my father watching. I can destroy food. They both know I can destroy food because I was the type of person that was like, okay, cool. How much of it do y'all have? Because a nice portion of it is about to go in me. And I would get up and get multiple plates. That was in my uncontrolled eating phase, and I was bad at it. And I got big behind it. I can still eat like that if I want to, but there's no purpose behind it. I'll just be, stuffing myself for no reason, just for the enjoyment of it. So moving on from the produce, you have your meat section. Ground meat, folks, goes a long way. Grass-fed beef is the premier beef along Wagyu and all that other stuff. But if you can't afford it, then don't try to break the bank. people who have families who are on low incomes or single incomes, you got to do what you got to do with what you have. So definitely get a nice 5 pound thing of ground beef. You can make little burger patties with it and have it with vegetables. You don't have to have bread with it, unless you have. Oh, Dad, I got pictures. Don't worry, I'm gonna show pictures. My dad wanted to show the pictures of where I was before and how I am now. But don't worry, I'm gonna show y'all. Go to my Instagram; it's on there. Go if y'all are personal friends of mine. Check out my pictures. For those who know me, know how big I was, and know where I'm at now, and how I'm getting back there now. So, um, but the thing about it is, you can make a lot of different meals. I can make a goulash to where I'll get diced tomatoes, those same frozen vegetables, some tomato sauce poured in a big old pot. I'll brown up my meat, add me some seasoning blend, so I add me more vegetables to it, season it up, and then put it all together in that pot and get it all incorporated. And my kids love it. Excuse me, our kids love it. They love eating the mess out of it. They tear it up every single time. And it's a good, simple meal. Easy to meal prep. You make it one time, it lasts for about 3 days. So that's 3 days without you having to worry about getting nothing unhealthy. There are ways to do this, folks. Ways to do this. And then and then if you are eating still 3 times a day, or if you're eating a meal around a decent lunch, but then you really just don't feel like eating something big and heavy, make a smoothie. The frozen section has strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, to where you can get those items, put them in a blender, and this is the way that I do it. I add some heavy whipping cream, a little bit of water to thin it out if I don't want to eat it with a spoon like a sorbet, and then I'll add me at least some stevia. Uh, this one's to get as pure. You can go ahead some from Icon Foods from my brand Tom King. He has what's called Keto Sweet, which is a very, very good sweetener as well. I think it's called Keto Sweet Plus that. Okay, camera. Okay, we're gonna keep moving. Camera acting weird. It's time for it. Camera's acting weird. We're gonna change this whole setup in a minute. But anyway, make yourself a smoothie. That can be a meal replacement for you in the evening time, so that way you're not eating something heavy on you. You're just getting something to satisfy that hunger. It gives you a little bit of a sweet taste because you're not using sugar, you're using stevia as a sweetener replacement, and it's really, really good. Again, kiddos really, 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 really like it. Because I know just about at this hour period, I really wanted to go ahead and touch on some really good situations when it comes to this. Everything we dominantly need outside of a couple of items already outside, and they're really, really not that expensive. If you do not want to spend a whole bunch of money for eggs, buy tuna. Make sure that you get the tuna in water, not the tuna in oil or vegetable oil. That's just disgusting. I don't even know why they do it like that. But get you some tuna. Couple of cans of tuna. Guess what? You have a salad, drain the water out, put the tuna on top of it. Guess what? You got a meal. And then if you really, really, really just want to do something with the tuna, or you can get some mackerel. My dad knows about this, some mackerel or some salmon. You can make yourself mackerel or salmon patties. Get you some almond flour, some onions, and with that mackerel and the thing, or the salmon, and you mush it all up together, and you make yourself a patty. You can pan fry it, eat it with some vegetables, and there you go. You got yourself a meal. And a lot of these meals that you can make are really, really under $15 to $20, and you can eat off of it for at least 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna make sure that I start to get some simple meal prep stuff set up and show you guys some of these meals. I might even have my dad make some some mackerel patties. See, as soon as I said mackerel patties, oh yeah, that was his thing when we were younger. Yeah, man, we'll hook up some mackerel patties in a minute. But I gotta tell you one thing, Pop, your daughter, she be making chicken fritters, ground chicken, and be making fritter patties with them. And that's why she got 2 kids. That's why we got 2 kids. So I'm gotta say that kind of food right there is why we got 2 kids, because it's just good to me, and she just doesn't. Anyway, um, but that's just the thing. You guys got to see the rate that the country is going with the rate of inflation and rate of food is not conducive to a lot of healthy eating. So we think we just have to take a step back, assess a budget, and really, really go out there and find what we can get at an affordable rate that's healthy. Because as I showed you earlier, these companies are getting cheaper ingredients, which are bad, worse than what they already put in there, and they're not telling you about it. They're just doing it so that way, one, it saves them money and they can just keep lying to you so that way you can keep purchasing and consuming it, not knowing what all other adverse health reactions, health events that this is gonna cause or give to you. It's just gonna jack you up and you're really just not gonna know unless you do the research. Okay, I want you guys to make sure that you guys take the time, look, read the labels, shop outside the borders of the about outside the borders of your grocery store. Shop in your produce section. If you don't know what the fruit or vegetable is, look it up. Look it up. Find ways to make meals with it. And I'm gonna tell y'all one thing, and then we're about to wrap up. Tell y'all one thing, we about to wrap up. There's an app, and I want y'all to see it. I don't know if y'all can see that because of the light. Let me see if I can turn this off. It's called, I got a screen protector, y'all, so that way people don't be in my business. Don't worry, I'll post it. It's called Yumly, Yumly. It's called Yumly. It's an app that gives you a whole bunch of different. Sorry, I want light again. It's an app that gives you a whole bunch of different recipe ideas for you, your family, and even gives kid menu items so that way the kids can actually get in the kitchen and make some meals too. So whenever you're having this moment where you're trying to figure out what types of meals that you can actually eat, especially if you're trying to live a particular lifestyle like I do, and me and my wife do, of keto, download the Yumly app, Yumly, okay? And make sure that you look through there and find you guys some decent meals to prepare. It gives you a whole bunch of ideas. And I think even for a subscription fee, you can pay to have cooking videos. I think if not one-on-one cooking videos or something like that, they give you cooking videos so that way one you can actually um, watch the actual cooking show being done and do it yourself. So these are just ideas. So that way, one, it's hard. And one of the things that my wife says, and that I can sympathize and understand, and she says the hardest thing sometimes for kiddos is lunch and dinner, because kids are so picky, so particular. It's easy. It's easy to go to McDonald's and get them nuggets. It's easy to go to Burger King and get them chicken fries because we've done it. Because sometimes funds and whatever situations come about, you know, prevent us from getting a lot of things, but we just got to get what we can get. And there's nothing wrong with that. So those who are out there struggling, trying to, find healthy items for your kids and everything like that, do not feel bad. You're not alone. We're doing it too. We're not perfect. We're working on it. We're getting ourselves better and better and better and better every single day, where we have to reestablish ourselves and restructure ourselves with keto and everything. I still got a long way to go. I started getting into my 3X shirts, and I do not like that. I'm happy in 2X, and if I'm feeling really sexy, I'm even better in a 1X. But I started getting into the 2X, 3X sizes again because I got out of control with my eating. Got into a depressive situation to where literally I was just down. And what do you do when a lot of people get depressed? So we we pacify our feelings with food. Now, don't look at me crazy. Don't look at me crazy. Oh, well, you feel down, you feel depressed. Everybody does. We all went through 2020. We all suffered a lot. We all had losses. We've all had stresses. Being an EMT, I've seen more death in that time period that I want to, that I still remember their faces. I still remember their names. And it's something that never leaves me. So a lot of things from these past couple of years, we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on. So a lot of times we may get down, and one of the things we have are called coping mechanisms. A lot of these coping mechanisms are not healthy. And even more so, I know even more people outside of me whose coping mechanisms are food. That's why they're called comfort foods. Full of sugar, full of carbs that make you feel really, really great. They release the endorphins and everything like that. And then you're like, huh. But your body suffers from it. Our country is killing ourselves with the amount of comfort foods that we have. Okay? If you're a diabetic, comfort foods need to be out of your vocabulary. Now there are some good healthy alternatives that you can have that you won't lose that taste, but it'll be a healthier idea. Hey Dwayne, man, it's good to see you, my brother. Okay, look, prime example. Hey Dwayne, I gotta see you. You said you lost. I don't understand. Okay, that was my my Google. Okay, Dwayne Cooper, he said he lost 65 pounds by doing keto, and his wife lost 52. He says it works, and he's in his 50s. Dwayne, appreciate that feedback, man. I really do appreciate that. I gotta come see you, man. It's been way too long. I got some friends I want to bring with me too, if that's all right with you, Past Master. All right. I appreciate you. Good seeing you, sir. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. But I want everybody to understand healthy living is good. Keto is beneficial. It works for those who are over 50. For those who say that they can't do it, that means you haven't tried it or you're scared. And there's nothing wrong with that. Trying something new to break that routine of what you've done your whole entire life to do something different, it is something that's scary. But I promise you, when it comes to your health, what do you have to lose? Seriously. If you're taking pills, if you're on diabetes, or you're taking all these statins and everything like that, and you don't want to take all those pills for the rest of your life, you do know that diabetes is reversible. Do y'all? I'm looking at camera one. Y'all do know that diabetes is reversible, right? No, you don't know that diabetes is reversible because doctors do not tell you that it's reversible. I work at a doctor's office. I've been working for doctors for years now, and they do not tell you that diabetes is reversible. They show you how to manage your diabetes. Why? Because if they give up the actual secret on how to reverse it, they lose patience. And when they don't have patience, they can't charge a copay. And when they can't charge a copay, they can't purchase that third car or put a down payment on that fifth house. The medical system is broken. I work for it. I'm telling you, the medical system is broken. I've done everything from medical coding and billing, working insurance, being in the clinical setting, responding to emergency events. And when I tell you the medical system is broken, I'm telling you the medical system is broken. The medical system is to maintain the status quo by keeping individuals from getting healed and maintaining things to keep the revenue up for the doctor's offices. Okay? Outside of going to your yearly checkups to make sure that your levels are great to see where you are and what areas you need to improve on, I'd rather you not have to go to the doctor if you don't need to. If there's ways to avoid it by just doing something simple with controlling what you put into your bodies, I would rather you do that. I would rather you do that. Quality of life in this day and age is more important than convenience. I'll say it again. Quality of life is more important than convenience. Yeah, you may have to eat some foods that may taste differently or may not be on your top 10 list or whatever, but god dog it, if your quality of life is improving, if you're 65 pounds down, living and feeling the best as you have felt in decades, what do you, I'm going to say this and oh my God, and I've said this 5 times. In order to get something, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up to get what you truly want? For businessmen, they give up sleep. They give up time away from home. They give up something so that way they can grind for that success. For athletes, they go to the gym for hours and hours and hours. They sacrifice time. They give up time away from their families in order to obtain that physicality and that skill set. Musicians do the same thing, practicing for hours and hours, honing in on that craft. Okay? What are you willing to give up to feel the best that you've ever felt, to improve your health and improve the quality of life for you? What are you willing to give up? You see what I'm saying? What are you willing to give up? In order to get something, you have to give something. I would give up all the unhealthy food, all the things that I know taste good. And I know my mama watching this too, because I had to tell her, Mama, I can't eat that. Mama can't. She got hurt by it, and I didn't mean to hurt her, but I was just saying I had to give up what I was comfortable with. I had to get out of my comfort zone and to push myself into discomfort to improve myself. Even when it comes for exercising, for all my people who are, okay, I got to show this, Dwayne, I got to show this. Pre-diabetic 6 months ago, and now he's not. This ain't me. I'm not making this up. Dwayne Cooper's a real person. I met him, sat in lodge with him, an amazing man, an amazing brother as well. Pre-diabetic 6 months ago, and now he's not. Just by changing what he ate. I know you still probably get yourself a good steak every now and then too. I know you probably do. But even more so, he reversed his pre-diabetic status. I know people who have reversed their diabetes completely. A1C is under 6.1. It's doable, but you got to have the discipline. You have to find out what's your why. Me, it's my kids and my family. I want to be as healthy as possible to be there for them without having as many health issues, without being on as many medications as a lot of my friends are. I want that. I want them to be able to enjoy me. I want to run around and play with my son and let him, because he's almost, oh gosh, my son is going to be 10 years old this year. And he's like a little Thundercat, man. He's running around trying to be Simba and trying to bump up on Mufasa. Now, Mufasa can't be fat trying to bump around with Simba. He going to run me down. So I got to let Simba know who goddamn king of the jungle is. And I can't do it with a gut. So I got to get myself right so that way I can be what I need to be for him, and definitely be what I need to be for my daughter, be what I need to be for my wife, because they need me and I need them. So think about it. To wrap things up, it's doable to eat on a budget in the midst of all this inflation. Set yourself a budget. Get real friendly with the produce section. Get real friendly with the produce section, and definitely see what you can make out of it. Download the Yummy app. If you have an opportunity, go to Walmart. Check out, I picked the bright one. Check out Proper Goods. This is going to be in the soup section. They're a little small section because they're just not getting set up in Walmarts now. If you're in Tyler, it's in the one that's off of the Loop and 323, right across the way from Texas Roadhouse, and the one off of 31. They have these here. The Walmart's off of 31, and I believe the one off the Troop Highway in Tyler. They have these here. Go find them, test them out, shoot me a message, let me know what you think, man. I'm about to give you a promo code again. Hopefully, I can get a promo code with them again, so that way, once I get it, y'all can get some discounts for purchasing them online or whatnot. If you guys want to get the big packs or whatever they don't have. But as I wrap up, if you feel so inclined, I'm doing what my good friend and Worship Master Marshall Johnson says. If you feel so inclined to donate, as you can see scrolling right below you, that is my Cash App, AZS, $, AZS, PBS 1914. If you feel so inclined to donate to the Keto 911 podcast, so that way, one, I can go ahead and continue to build what I have here. Definitely got to give me a new camera that's a little bit more stable, and I got to give me a new microphone as well. By all means, if you feel so inclined to donate to the podcast, I'm more than appreciative of it. I was doing my shows every 2 weeks, but I'm spending them out to do them every month. I've taken on some more responsibilities with work and organizations to where I can't do them every 2 weeks. But also, this gives me good time to go ahead and set up some more fantastic interviews. I saw Dr. Aubrey Palmer, who I had on my podcast beforehand. I got to get him back because we got to talk some more medical shop stuff. I got to get your doctor's office perspective, and I got some more individuals who I really want to get on here, including if they'll have me, a husband and wife team that's done keto together, so that they've done it for a good while too. And if Dwayne Cooper feels so inclined maybe to be interviewed, we can see what he's done, him and his wife have done to improve their health as he's done so far. So I'll keep that in the wind. If you guys feel interested in doing that, by all means, let me know. Again, here's the donation. I'm saying I'm not going to tell you no if you feel like you want to donate. I'm just saying if you feel it within yourself, all right? But again, thank you all for staying with me with the Keto 911 podcast. I have missed you guys. I've been trying to get myself back to pull myself to do this, and I'm happy that I did this today with permission from my good and wonderful spouse. But thank you all for tuning in again. As I always end it out, in time, people will forget your name, people will forget what you look like, people will forget even where you work or what you've done, but they'll never forget the positive impact that you've made in their life. So as while you have the ability to always find an opportunity to enrich somebody's life, to pour into somebody, because you never know. You never know how close they are from the edge, and that one conversation from you could be that saving grace that pulls them back. And if you do reach out to somebody to support them and love them, don't stop, because you never know. One day it will be you. Not it may be you, it will be you. And you would wish that somebody would take out the time to do the same thing for you that you would do for somebody else. So if you're doing the right thing, continue to keep doing it. Love and support as many people as you can. And until next time, my name is Daniel, your Keto EMT, signing out. Y'all take care. And for y'all, those in Texas, y'all try your best to stay warm. It's about to get cold.